I'm not going to hold you all. I really don't think that women can be friends with straight men and sometimes bi men, okay? But I feel like bi men tend to be easier to be friends with most of the time. But y'all tell me if y'all disagree. And I'm going to tell y'all exactly why I feel like this. So, my third or fourth year of college, I met this guy who we're going to call Isaac, okay? So, we had a class together. We met in class. And this class that we had together was, okay, so we were both biochemistry majors. And I knew that just based off the fact that he was taking this class, right? So, it was basically like an introductory freshman class where different researchers will come and present their research every week, and we'd have to like read a paper about it and respond to it. Now I'm gonna be 100% transparent with y'all. That was a freshman level class, right? So I had taken that class my first semester of college coming out of high school, and I failed that class straight up because I was coming out of Detroit public schools, right? And mind you, I'm great at reading, okay? So, like, when I took the ACT, I got a perfect score on reading. So, the issue was not reading for me. The issue was not comprehending or writing my response. The issue was reading scientific literature because I got up in there and I was like, what does this even say? Like, this was first semester of freshman year, bro. Like, what are you saying? Like, so I failed that junk. I'm not going to hold y'all, right? So, I retook it my third or fourth year, okay? So, so I'm in this class, right? And I sit next to this dude. And it's funny because the first day of class, it was like 6 black people in the whole class. And we all sat next to each other, right? And that's how me and this dude, Isaac, ended up sitting next to each other. So the second week of class came and me and Isaac sat next to each other again, but the other black people did not sit next to us, y'all. So me and Isaac, we started discussing that. We was like, we sit next to all the black people for a reason. And then here come week 2 and they don't sit next to us. And this is the truth, y'all. The other black people were Africans, okay? So me and Isaac were both black Americans and the other black people were Africans. And the second week, I don't think the Africans sat next to the other Africans. I think they were, sitting with non-black people. Whatever. That's, that was what they wanted to do. So anyway, me and Isaac sat next to each other again the second week. And we got to talking about how we were both from Detroit and all this other stuff, right? So we probably initially exchanged phone numbers because we had the same major. And, he was taking a bunch of classes that I'd already taken, right? So that was why we, again, initially exchanged numbers. But y'all, when I tell y'all we became really great friends, like, I'm not even joking. When I tell y'all that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship, like, Isaac was so funny, and y'all know I'm hilarious. So we used to be a kikiing and kakan, right? And this is the thing about Isaac. Like, honestly, I don't be comfortable around guys. I don't like to talk to guys because y'all always on some weird shit. So normally, I would never even be in a friendship with a guy for real. Not a good friendship where it's like he really wanted the girls. You know what I'm saying? It's not even it's not a surface level friendship. It's not, we associates. I see him sometimes. We cool, whatever. No, that was actually a deep friendship. Like, really legitimate friends. Like, the only way I can describe it again is like a friendship between 2 women because that's the only time it's not no weird shit happening, right? So we're going to get into that though, right? So anyway, this was a wonderful friendship and it lasted for more than a year. Like, honestly, I feel like I must have been in my 3rd year when I met him because I feel like me and him were friends for like a year and a half or something. Like, we were friends for a long while and we ended up having another class together. Like, we had microbiology together or something. Like, we ended up having another class together though. However, it ended up because, I don't know, like, because, I was part-time, so I hadn't taken all of my advanced biology credits, and maybe he got started on his early, so we ended up both in microbiology or something. And we probably planned that because, like, he probably texted me like, hey, like, I got to take advanced bio, whatever, right? So again, we were friends for a long while. Now let's fast forward like a year and a half, something into the future, right? So fast forward to, like I said, it was a year and a half. It was cold outside. So I made my world famous blow your booty back chili, okay? First of all, 3 types of beans. Ooh, like, hold up. Like, look, if you got a little blockage, oh, this chili not going to stop it, okay? Like, y'all, when I tell y'all my chili is like out of this world, and it's crazy because everybody be hating on me in real life because I'm a vegetarian, okay? So if y'all didn't know, I was born and raised a vegetarian. So when I told niggas I was making chili, they was talking shit. Everybody was like, don't nobody want no chili with no meat in it. Like, what the fuck? One bitch gonna say, I don't want no damn bean water. Like, don't nobody want that shit. So I'm like, okay, bet. Remember that. Because I'm finna make this chili. And I want y'all to eat y'all words, right? So I made this chili. When I tell y'all, look, y'all, that chili was slapping. Like, hold up. I gotta try to find some of the reaction videos of folks eating that chili, because when I tell you that chili was not to be played with. You enjoying yourself, bitch?
God, I ain't never had chili this good. There's no carcass in here either.
This chili was a shit. The shit.
Like, y'all, look at this screenshot. Like, when I tell you I'm not playing about the chili. So one of my friends had called me like late in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So I missed the call because my phone be on silent. I'm telling you right now, if you ever need help in the middle of the night, you stranded, something, your car broke down, don't call me. I ain't gonna call you back till 10 the next morning. Like, oh, hey, like, what's up, right? I'm that person who sleep with their phone on silent, and I'm sorry if you have an emergency. Call 911, my love, because I can't do nothing about it, okay? So anyway. So one of them had FaceTime me in the middle of the night, and I missed that call because I was sleeping. My phone was on silent, as it still be on today. But I text her the next day like, like I missed your call. Whatever I said, I'm not looking at the screenshot, right? But she replied, she was like, oh, I'm with so-and-so. We was trying to check up on that chili. Like, yo, when I tell you that chili was slapping, like that was like, let's be for real, that chili, that had to be like top 10 college moments, because that chili was out of this world. It wasn't even just like, oh, this is some good chili. That chili was like, like, oh my goodness, like, y'all, hitting, right? So anyway, the chili brings us to the next part of this story. So everybody was coming to my house to get some of this chili, all right? Because when I tell you this chili was hitting, it was laughing, it was banging, that chili was falling off the figurative bone, because as stated, it was not no meat in the chili. And that's part of what made the chili so magical, y'all, because niggas was really hating bad as fuck. When I told them I was making some chili, they was like, don't nobody want no damn chili with no meat in it. Niggas was like, don't nobody want no bean water, so, yada, yada, yada. Man, when I tell you I repped my set, veg gang was made too proud. Like, after them niggas talked all that shit about me, the vegetarian ancestors lent me their strength, because there's no way I made a pot of chili that damn good when I was, like 22 or some shit. Like, that was like my first or second time making chili, man. Like, how did chili get to be that good? But after all that shit them niggas was talking, oh man. So not only was the chili banging, it was vegetarian chili banging like that, okay? Like, you heard that one dude, he was like, oh yeah, it ain't no carcass in this, and this the best chili I ever had. Baby, when I tells you I don't just talks that vegetarian talks, baby, I walks that vegetarian walks. When I tell you I'm putting my money where my mouth is, any cadaver consumer, bitch, step into the kitchen. That's how the fuck I'm coming, bitch. Especially behind this motherfucking chili, okay? So anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. The vegetarian ancestors just put a message on my heart. I had to get that out, okay? Anyway. Everybody was coming to my house for this chili. And that is why Isaac came to my house. So Isaac came to my house to have some of this chili. And the vibe was off. It was a very weird vibe. And it was definitely noticeable, because this was not the first time that Isaac had come to my house, and I had gone to his house before, right? Like, you know, if I cooked and folks wanted some food and I had extra food, folks would come over and eat. Clearly, as we see with that chili. I'm sorry, hold up. One more aside. It's the fact that they was really trying to go hard on me in the group chat, bro. When I told them, like, yeah, I'm making some chili, them niggas was glazing so bad. I was like, okay, bet. Cause ground beef not the only meat you bitches eat. You're eating my meat right now in this bitch. Like, y'all, when I tell y'all I was fighting for my life in the group chat, bro, I was fighting for my life. That's why the vegetarian ancestors was like, oh, we got to let her our strength, because ain't no way I could make no nasty chili after how them niggas tried to flame me. But, oh, y'all, I'm sorry. It's just the power of that chili keep distracting me. Like, woo. But anyway, right? So Isaac came to my house, and the vibe was very off. And like I said, he'd come to my house before. I've been to his house before. We would study together and whatever, if I made extra food, whatever. That chili almost took over my spirit again. But anyway. So I'm like, what's going on? Are you all right? He like, yeah, everything's cool, whatever, right? So then, like the next day or, not too long after, he texts me saying that it's something he need to talk about, right? So automatically, I'm getting a vibe from this. So I was like, okay, do you want to talk at class? Because I told y'all we had microbiology together, right? So I'm like, we can talk in class. And I think initially he said, yeah. And then oh, you know what? We did have microbiology together, I think. We also had another class, biochemistry lecture. We did not have that together. I was in the second part and he was in the first part. But I had class right before him. So my class met, and then as we were walking out, his class came in. So usually, we would stand in the hallway talking and stuff. Sometimes I'd hang around in his class, or he would come early to mine, whatever, so that's what it was, right? So I was like, oh, do you want to talk about it in the hall, before, after class, whatever, we normally do? And at first he said, yeah, but then he was like, no, I think that's going to be kind of awkward or whatever. And then I was like, okay, I guess. So I saw him that day when I was on the way out of class or in the class. I can't remember if my class met first, then his, or his class met first, then mine. I don't know. But, we crossed paths as we always do. But again, the vibe was off. Because, normally we just be talking, whatever. But I'm like, oh, did you want to talk about whatever? He's like, oh, no, whatever, And I think I was leaving. Yeah. So I'm like, or I don't know. But that ain't important to the story. So anyway. Whatever, whoever stayed, whoever left, right? Later on, I was at home and he finally texted me and told me that he had romantic feelings for me, right? So I was not expecting this at all because I legitimately thought that we were just friends. I'm not even joking. That never crossed my mind. So I can't remember exactly what I replied. That was years ago. But I replied something along the lines of, I did not have those feelings for him. And I think I told him, if you want to still be friends, if it's not awkward for you, then we definitely can, and I may have said something like, I'm sorry, I was not expecting this or whatever, right? And my thing is this, initially, I was not put off by the situation because, he said, oh, I have feelings for you or whatever. And I was like, okay, I don't have feelings for you, but, we can see if we can still be friends or whatever, right? But then he kept going. That's what did it for me. He kept going, right? So he was like, oh, Flower Tower, but of course he said my name. And my name is not a secret, but I'm not going to hold y'all. When y'all call me by my name on here, I kind of be looking. I'm not going to hold y'all. It's the same way, you might have a family nickname that nobody else can call you. If somebody else outside the family call you that, and you looking who is you? What, right? So when y'all call me by my actual name, I just be like, that's not you, buddy, right? The same way, when people in real life call me Flower Tower, it's off-putting. And I tell them, like this one dude I know, he was like, oh, Flower Tower, I found your YouTube. I was like, please, don't call me that. Because in real life, come on now. It's the exact opposite. When y'all call me by my name on YouTube, it's like, what? When somebody call me by Flower Tower in real life, it's like, what? But anyway, he was like, are you serious, Rachel? You really shocked that I have feelings for you and we've been vibing this whole time and so and yada, yada, yada. And I'm sitting here dumbfounded because I really did not know that this was that. I really thought that we were friends. I'm not even joking, y'all. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't know that was the vibe this entire time. This entire time, I really thought that we were friends, right? And he kept pushing and he kept pushing and he kept going and he kept going. And it just goes back to how women say no is a full sentence. Like, all a woman has to say is no, and that should be the end of the discussion, right? So when he said, oh, I have feelings for you, do you have feelings for me? And I said no, that should have been the end of it, right? But he kept pushing it, and it was the entitlement. It was the entitlement because it's like, okay, you told me you like me. I told you that I don't feel the same way about you. What else are we talking about? Like, why do you feel entitled to any sort of romantic relationship with me or whatever? That's what really bothered me in addition to the pushiness. But I guess those are the same thing. So after he kept pushing the subject multiple times, because it had to have been at least like 3 times, that's when I was like, okay, well, I'm not even comfortable being your friend now, you know, because at first I said, if it is like doable for you, because, you know, sometimes people be like, okay, I can't be friends with you right now, depending on what in the end, no, wait, it wasn't even just that he said he liked me, right? Because then after I said like, oh, you know, I don't feel the same way back, he definitely at some point said he loved me. He definitely at some point said that. And that, in addition to the pushiness and the entitlement, that is what had me like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely not willing to be friends anymore, because now, like love versus like, those are very, very different things, right? Like, you know, like, oh, I got a little crush versus I'm in love with somebody. Come on now, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm not willing to be friends anymore. And I mean, I don't remember the like specifics of the conversation at that point, but we never spoke again. And I am bringing this up because I would like to say that Isaac broke my heart. I'm not going to hold y'all, because I really thought that was my friend. And there's going to be guys listening to this who are going to be like, oh, you friend zoned him. I mean, I thought we were friends. Like I would never say that my best friend, who was a woman, friend zoned me, because we're friends. Friends are in the friend zone. Like, what? And you know, part of what bothered me about the Isaac situation, in addition to the fact that I lost a close friend, because friendship breakups are always hard, right? So of course that was bad enough. But then I feel like it just also made me learn something about men. Because up until that point, I thought that men and women could be friends and legitimately be friends. You know, that's why when he came at me with this, I was literally like, where is this coming from? I'm not even joking, right? This situation with Isaac made me realize that, bottom line, end of the day, with men, it's always about how attractive you are to them or whatever. It's like you're only ever something for them to be romantically or sexually attracted to, right? Like, literally, I'm just making up a scenario, right? Say I had conducted some research and I was like, okay, I'm going to present this at, you know, this conference or whatever, right? And I went up there and I did that, right? I bet you right after I walk out the doors, a guy's going to stop me and be like, oh, you look sexy as hell up there, so yada, yada, yada. I'm up here presenting my research. That's not the vibe at all. But that's all you took from what I got up here and did, right? And the thing is, he's not the anomaly at all. That's what makes it so depressing. Because if that guy was the anomaly, then, hey, I'd have nothing to complain about, right? But that guy is the majority. Most of these guys are thinking it, and a lot of them are doing it too. I think that's part of what bothered me so much about the situation.